Today, guys, we are starting a new show on this channel, which is going to happen every Saturday. So if you guys want to come back here every Saturday for this show alone, I recommend hitting the subscribe button. And what we'll be doing here is we will be doing a full recap on what's been going on with the division in the division universe, right? So everything from division 2 to the division Heartland to the division movie, anything we do find out, we will recap it every Saturday here. So everything that happens throughout the week, we'll do one full video and you guys can come back and watch here. So let's get into it, guys. So the first thing we want to talk about today is that there is a global event currently going on in the division 2. Now this will officially be over on Tuesday, so make sure you go out there, you earn those stars. And remember, there is a global event vendor that you can use those stars on to get exotic caches, materials, named weapons, and also you'll get rewards for just doing the global event itself. Also, the last week of Huntsman League is currently going on, so make sure you guys take advantage of that. Get as many stars as you can so you guys can get those rewards, and hopefully you've done it enough where you guys can unlock the backpack trophy. And finally, PTS Phase 1 did end on Tuesday, so the developers are taking all the feedback, coming back, and then we should have PTS 2 coming out in the near future. Now, PTS 2 is going to actually give us access to a lot of new named gear items, exotics that we currently don't have in this title update. So title update 15 will come with all of this. Obviously, this is just the testing phase. So let's recap a few things that we found out this week. So one of the big topics that came up this week was raid gear from Iron Horse will finally be in the open world. Now you guys might say, well, raid gear pieces are, well, the backpack and chest piece will not drop in the open world, but the other pieces do. But if you guys don't know, some of the best talents come on the chest and backpack pieces from those Iron Horse pieces. So that will be in the open world. So you can target farm it, you can go to summit, or you can even go to the new game mode, Countdown. Now let's talk about it. Countdown is a new mode that a lot of you guys might have heard some positive, some negative feedback on, and I will tell you that I need to play more of it to really digest everything that we're getting there. Hopefully, from what I've seen, they do increase the difficulty a little bit because it does seem like it's a little too easy, and I didn't even have that much trouble playing with another 8 players with the build that was just put together within seconds. So hopefully that they do take care of that and they do adjust Countdown. They take that positive and negative feedback and they can create something special. So we did see a new system coming, the expertise system, and I will tell you, I kind of am glad they went this route instead of increasing our gear score. So the rumor was that they might have gone from gear score 40 to 50, but we would have to refarm everything. And what the expertise system does is, instead of us going up to level 40 and having to refarm everything, we already have all the gear. So now we can just min-max it a little bit more. And that's kind of what the expertise system does. It allows you to add armor on all your gear pieces, weapon damage on all of your weapons, and then obviously skill buffs on all of your skills. So we don't know exactly what the final version of this will be, but there was a lot of feedback given during this last PTS. So hopefully what we see in the future will take a lot of that constructive feedback and give it to us. Now, we are getting some new gear sets, new brand sets, new exotics, new weapons, and we'll talk about that all right now. The first one I want to talk about is the new gear set, the Heartbreaker. Everybody is talking about this, but what does it do, right? So the Heartbreaker set is going to give you 15 AR damage and 15% LMG damage for running a 2-piece. Now the 3-piece is going to give you that 15% weapon handling, but the 4-piece is where this actually gets pretty interesting. And what the 4-piece does is weapon hits on pulse enemies add and refreshes a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% damage to pulse enemies for 5 seconds. Now the max stack on that is 50, but if you wear the chest piece, you can actually increase that to 100. So the max stack can go up to 100. And then the backpack, what it allows you to do is stacks now supply a 2% bonus armor. So running the chest piece and backpack might be something that you'll be doing with this set. And a lot of people are already talking about it, thinking of builds that you could create around this, including myself. And I'm excited to actually test this out during the PTS to see how powerful this build can be. Now there's also a new brand set coming, which is going to give you 5% armor for if you only want to wear 1 piece. The 2-piece gives you the 10% armor on kill, and then the 3-piece is going to give you that 10% hazard protection. So a new brand set coming, and along that we'll get some new talents. Obviously we'll get some new perfect talents, and let's talk about those talents now. So the two new perfect talents that we're getting is one on the chest piece. It's called Closer. So it says it amplifies total weapon damage and skill damage by 20% to pulse enemies. You guys know Spotter right now gives you 15%. Well, the perfect talent will give you 20%. And most likely, I want to say about 95% chance that this is coming on the new brand set. So the one piece will probably give you that 5% armor. Now the backpack will most likely be the same brand set, and it comes with perfect opportunistic. Now what this does is enemies you hit with a shotgun or marksman rifle amplifies that damage they take by 15% from all sources for 5 seconds. So that is perfectly opportunistic, and I'm pretty sure this also comes on the brand set. Anytime they release these new brand sets during the new seasons, these sets always link towards that brand set. So I'm assuming that those new perfect talents are going to be coming on that set. Now there are a few exotics coming, one being the Dread, which is an exotic variation of the SVD, and it comes with a pretty cool talent called Full Stop. So shooting enemies build stacks to a cap of 20. Headshots grant 2 stacks, each stack grants 2% weapon damage, 5% headshot damage. But listen to this, on reload you clear all stacks and you gain 5% of your max armor as temporary armor for 10 seconds for each stack removed. But headshot kills with the Dread restore all bullets in the magazine. This does not count as a reload. So that's actually pretty cool. So you can keep this stack up as long as you get those headshot kills. And most likely if you're running an SVD and you run some type of sniper build, you can probably keep this stack up pretty easy. Now there is an exotic mask that is coming with the talent called Vicious Cycle. Taking damage builds stacks to a cap of 30. Each stack grants 1% weapon damage. Taking damage at max stack triggers a purge, removing all stacks and status effects. So if you're tired of those status effect builds, this might be something you want to run. Now, what it does is it drops a healing cloud, which restores 5% of max armor for 10 seconds to all allies in the cloud. So it looks like this could be a mask that you at least have one person in your team running if you're running in a group. So looks like a pretty cool exotic to have. And last but not least, there is an exotic version of the Stoner LMG, and that is the blue screen. Now this comes with a talent called Disruptive Rounds. So shooting enemies marks them and adds a stack of the agent up to 50. Now shooting a marked enemy refreshes the mark and adds stacks to that agent. When you deploy a non-shield skill, removes all stacks on agent and all marked targets trigger an effect. So 1 to 10 stacks post marked targets for 5 seconds, 11 to 25 stacks post and disrupt marked targets for 5 seconds, 26 to 49 stacks post disrupt and disorient marked targets for 5 seconds, and if you get a 50 stack, post disrupt disorient marked targets in all hostiles within 10 meters of the marked targets for 5 seconds. This effect will trigger immediately if any marked target enemy is killed. So that is actually pretty cool. You throw out a seeker that will trigger this. Seems pretty fun. I really want to test this out to see how effective it can be, especially in solo and group plays. Now there are a few balances coming. If you guys haven't heard, the shield is being nerfed in PvP. It's going to be taking more damage in PvP, and it no longer works with the talent in sync, and that's in PvE and PvP. Now Intimidate and Perfect Intimidate are both getting a slight nerf. Now I feel like this won't be the meta anymore. Intimidate has become one of the strongest talents in the game. Now the new behavior, the way it works is while you have bonus armor, you gain 1 stack each second up to a max of 7. The stack does increase your total armor by 5% to enemies within 10 meters, and in PvP, instead of 5%, you get 4%. So I do feel that this talent in PvE will still work pretty effectively, but in PvP, this is where it did take a huge nerf. So I can see a new meta definitely forming, especially with the new brand sets, the new gear sets, the new weapons. Meta will be changing overall. And we can't forget there are 2 named weapons coming, one being an LMG and one being an assault rifle. The LMG is called the Dare. Now this comes with a talent Perfect Flat 9. What it does is it amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulse enemies. After 2 kills, applies pulse to the next enemy you hit. Currently incorrect displays as the talent Perfect Jeopardy. So just so you guys keep in mind, if you guys saw that talent Perfect Jeopardy, that is not a talent in the game. Now there's also an assault rifle, a named assault rifle called the Kingbreaker. Now this comes with a talent perfect flatline. It amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulse enemies. After 2 kills, you apply pulse to the next enemy you hit. So the same talent on 2 weapons, which it seems like pulse enemies is going to be a thing. Spotter will definitely be up there in the meta, and we just have to keep playing with it and see how it goes. Now, as I said at the very beginning of the video, the PTS 2 has not been scheduled. They're currently working on a couple things, so hopefully we find out shortly when that will go live. The Division Heartland standalone game still seems to be on track with multiple playtests going on, and it's also been leaked by Ubisoft in their own store, Ubisoft store, multiple times. It randomly pops up and then they randomly hide it. So the Division Heartland is being worked on, and hopefully I'm predicting we'll get some type of official announcement, maybe not the official release, but official announcement of the game, and then we'll learn more about it. And we can't forget about the Division movie, currently being worked on by Ross and Thurber. Now, if you guys haven't heard, they are making a Division movie for Netflix, and someone recently, I think this was March 9th, and asked, hey Rawson, any updates on the production of the Division movie? Really hoping that it'll be as good as, or if not better than, Red Notice, which was a fantastic movie. Rawson comes back and says, thanks Chris, updates coming, but I can't say much more at the moment. Wish I could. So it looks like the production for the Division movie is moving along, and what can we say? I know a lot of you guys are excited for this. I'm excited for it, and I think it's going to be a good one, and especially with the way Netflix has been pushing out movies. Most of their movies recently have been pretty good and produced really well, so that's what I'm excited for, that we get a good produced Division movie that a lot of people enjoy. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this week with Nothing But Skills. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Remember, if you guys want to see more of these, leave a thumbs up. And if there are any news that I did forget, let me know in the comments. I would love to report on it in the next episode. I'll see you guys around, but until then, hey, Nothing But Skills out. Take it easy, everybody.